Democracy is broken, and in order to solve the climate crisis, we're going to have to pay attention to the democracy crisis. The same reason that it's seemingly impossible for the Congress to pass legislation banning these weapons of war, these assault rifles that are being used to murder children in classrooms and create hundreds of mass casualty events already this year, and that's getting worse. The same reason we can't pass legislation to, for example, reinstate the ban on assault weapons is the same reason that we can't pass climate legislation. We have a minority government. We have the filibuster still, which ought to be eliminated. We have big money playing much too large a role in our politics, lobbyists for the fossil fuel industry, and they're still running all of these advertisements trying to convince people that it's not that bad or they've got this, don't worry about it. We have got to rise to this challenge.
So I wonder how many people actually associate what we have as real problems with the money that influences not just, legislation, obviously, but who is on the Supreme Court, right? And who is taking away the powers from the Environmental Protection Agency with the stroke of their pen, right? I don't know. I will tell you this. It was interesting. Last night, Howard got a link to a Zoom call that was being put together by Adam Kinzinger. And I don't know what, is it because he was a lobbyist? I have no idea why he was included in this. Maybe he gave Adam Kinzinger $25 once. I don't know. I have no earthly idea. But I said to him, send me the link. I want to see what goes on. So I joined the Zoom call last night. And at the very beginning of the Zoom call, there were, I'd say, about 800 people on it. And Adam Kinzinger, addressed everyone and told them, basically why he's not running anymore because, he was gerrymandered. You talk about minority rule. Okay, so the House is gerrymandered so that Democratic majorities are diluted so that you'll never see, a Democratic, a congressional district in Tennessee. You'll never see a Democratic, obviously there's one, okay? But you'll never see the population reflected in the House of Representatives in Texas or in Alabama or in, Tennessee or in Georgia. I mean, Georgia's trying. But, so anyway, Kinzinger was on there and saying why he wasn't running and, talking about the January 6th committee and how all the crimes that they have uncovered go directly to the doorstep of one Donald J. Trump and that, the Department of Justice shouldn't wait for the January 6th committee to finish its work because they're not nearly done because every single hearing we find out something freaking new. And now the whole month of August, which is a recess month, as you know, they're going to be looking at the criminal activity of the Secret Service. And by criminal, I mean criminal. They've opened up a criminal investigation into the Secret Service because they were told to preserve documents on January 16th, 10 days after January 6th, and they went ahead and wiped the phones. It's very nefarious. It's very ugly. It's really dangerous. This is a security crisis for our nation. It's something that you can see that they burrowed into every part of our government. The Department of Justice was considering a guy from the environmental portion of the Justice Department to be the Attorney General. And the warnings are going up. The warnings are going up, and the warnings are very plain. And they're saying that, you elect more of these lunatic, fringy people. You elect more of these, Trumpers. You elect more of the Ron DeSantis types, the people who are invested in culture wars so that we won't understand that our government is being purchased away out from under us so that the real problems that we have, we will be unable to solve. And because we will be so concerned with the fake problems that they will create. So that's what the Talking Points USA conference was. It was about telling you what these fake problems are, what they look like. I mean, and I heard the craziest crap, okay? But let me just finish up with the Zoom call. So after Kinzinger got done addressing everybody, they came up with, they had some, I got to say, everybody on the call. There were like 800, like I said. they were all my age. There were like no young people. The only young people on the call were the tech people and the administrators, the moderators, right? They were, they looked like they were in their 20s, early 30s, but all the participants were definitely my age and above, like way above. And they wanted to congratulate and thank Adam Kinzinger for being a reasonable Republican, and that, they were all denying that they ever voted for Donald Trump, that Donald Trump's party is full of crazy people. But I heard no one identify the fake culture war or the fact that, like no condoms for you, and that you had 157 Republicans voting against recognizing interracial marriage as being a constitutionally protected right after the Loving decision, or gay marriage being a constitutionally protected right because it's equal justice, equal protection in the 14th Amendment. And no one got the money issue. They don't understand why social media is social media. They don't understand anything Steve Bannon did. They don't understand what Cambridge Analytica was. They still don't get the whole story. They don't get that the entire Facebook effort at the beginning of 2015 was to fragment the people of the United States by saying, and Chris Wiley actually explained this very well. He said what they were doing was they were whispering something in one person's ear on their Facebook feed, depending on their psychological profile, and then whispering something else to another person on their Facebook feed because they were concerned with something else. The racists were told stuff about the border, and the people who don't want their taxes going up were told something about taxes. And they divided Americans so that we would have no shared experience, so that we would have no shared facts, we would have no shared problems that we were trying to solve collectively. They did this to fragment the country. And I'm telling you, people still don't get what happened here, or that it's still happening. And so I was pretty dispirited, because they were almost all Republicans on this call, but they were Republicans who recognized that Trumpism was a failed experiment.